With the shocked hotel manager behind me, I approached my husband. My husband, engrossed in a flirty exchange, didn't seem to notice my approach. "Jones, what are you doing here today? Why are you here?" I tapped on my husband's shoulder twice and called out. Turning around, his face went pale instantly, quickly shaking off the girl's arm he was wrapped in. "Jennifer? Why are you here?" "What do you mean, why? I manage this hotel, remember?" "Huh? Oh, did you?" Sweat was dripping from his brow. I'd never seen him so upset like this. "Jones, who's this?" A rather saccharine voice came from next to my husband, to which I shifted my gaze. She looked quite young. With a smug tone, my husband's mistress said, "He might be your husband, but he's more serious about me. He's always saying you're just a fling." "No, that's not true. This is a misunderstanding." Seeing the two in front of me, words just naturally flowed from my mouth. "I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was just a fling." "It's okay. I'll support you fully. My name is Jennifer. I live in an upscale apartment in New York. Currently, it's just me and my husband living together. Sadly, we never had kids, and I've now reached the age of 50. My family owns numerous properties in New York and in the suburbs, including apartments and hotels. We're quite wealthy. Thanks to this wealth, I've been entrusted with managing some of these properties by my parents. Consequently, I have a substantial income and my husband doesn't work. At the beginning of our marriage, he had a decent job in sales at a securities firm. But once he found out that I earned more than him by just working a few days a month, he promptly quit his job. If I don't need to work that hard, I want to spend more time with you, Jennifer. Taking my husband Jones's words lightly, I thought, well, maybe he has a point. So I just accepted his becoming financially dependent from early on in our marriage. At home, he would do chores occasionally, but we had a housekeeper come in twice a week. We often ate out, so I didn't feel any inconvenience in our daily life. He was never aggressive nor abusive. He would always gift me flowers or presents for anniversaries or special occasions, even though I was the one paying for everything. Well, life with such a husband was fun, and we were getting along quite well. One day, I was in the office of one of the hotels I manage. I was there to review the financial reports. After finishing the work, talk and having some coffee, I was escorted by the hotel manager to the lobby when I spotted someone familiar. "Oh, is that... Hun? Is something wrong?" The hotel manager looked puzzled as I stopped abruptly. Then upon seeing where my gaze was fixed, he started panicking. "Why is Jennifer's husband here?" Indeed, unmistakably in the hotel's lobby was my husband. He was supposed to be on a soul-searching trip, having left home the previous day. But there he was, arm in arm with a young, cute girl, openly being affectionate. "I'll go and talk to him." "What, Jennifer?" She looked like she was in her mid-20s. She had a cute face, characterized by big round eyes like those of a small animal, and a very feminine figure. On the other hand, I have a rather thin face and am quite skinny, the exact opposite of her. Back in college, I was once approached by a modeling scout. I think my face and figure weren't bad at all. "Nice to meet you. I'm Joan's wife." She bowed her head politely in greeting. After a momentary look of surprise, the woman immediately smirked and said, "Oh, really? Well, Joan and I were just spending some sweet time together in this hotel suite." "What? No, it's not like that. Jennifer, this is, Joan? Are you cheating on me with her?" The woman, like a small animal, answered before my husband could. "It's not an affair. It's love. Joan and I are destined to be together. He always said you were a naive, old-fashioned lady. That you act high and mighty, but aren't charming. And you're so skinny with no curves. He told me my face is cuter." "Laz? Destiny? Jennifer, it's not like that. You've got it all wrong." "That's right. He always said I was the serious one and you were just a fling. He said I'm his soulmate." I was surprised at the sudden revelation, but perhaps she felt victorious and continued to gloat. Seeing my husband flustered beside this woman who confidently proclaimed her love was a sight to behold. But after hearing all that, I had made up my mind. The words flowed out naturally. "Oh, I see. Then I'll be on my way." "Sorry, Jones, I didn't realize I was the other woman. Wishing you happiness with this adorable lady. I'll support you as much as I can." My husband began to panic. "Jennifer, listen to me." "Oh, Why don't you guys spend another night in the suite? Mr. Manager, can you arrange that for them? I turned to the hotel manager, who had been nervously listening from a distance. Are you sure? Oh, well, if you say so, Jennifer. He hesitantly agreed. That's great. Your happiness is my happiness, Jones. Take good care of your soulmate, okay? Wow, you're so understanding, ma'am. No, it's not like that. Listen to me, Jennifer. Awesome. Another night in the suite with your approval? Best day ever. I waved goodbye with a smile as my husband was dragged away by the woman. Take care. I immediately returned to my apartment. I called my parents to fill them in on this situation. And they were livid. They told me to leave the condo right away. Hello, this is Tomcat Moving Services. Excuse me, but I need to move out. When would you like to schedule the move? Today. Today? I'm sorry, but that's a bit short notice. It's just me and a few boxes. The new place is a 10-minute drive away with no furniture. I'll pay whatever it costs. Oh, if it's that simple. Let me check. After a few minutes on hold, they managed to fit me in due to a cancellation. Although the move was more expensive due to its last-minute nature, it seemed like a small price to pay to support my husband's newfound love. I started packing right away. I didn't have much furniture, as everything was provided. It didn't take me long to pack my belongings. I have properties in various places like condos in New York where I keep some of my stuff, so I don't have much to pack. I quickly packed everything into cardboard boxes and my packing was done in no time. But my husband's belongings took a bit longer. I went to his room and began boxing everything up. I had to pack quickly, so it was a bit rushed. Well, the movers weren't going to handle his stuff anyway, so there was no need to pack neatly. I had just finished packing my husband's belongings into boxes in his room and moved them to the front door when the movers arrived. Oh, thank you for coming. I appreciate your help today. Happy to help. A cheerful young man greeted me with a bright smile. However, his expression tightened upon seeing my husband's belongings by the entrance. Are we moving these? The boxes weren't sealed properly, and items seemed ready to spill out of all of them. I bet the mover wasn't too thrilled about that. No, I'm sorry. Those are just my husband's things. You'll only need to move my stuff, which is over there. The mover seemed visibly relieved when he saw the few boxes stacked in the hallway. The destination is this apartment complex. My mother will be there waiting, so thank you in advance. I handed him a piece of paper with the address written on it. With a friendly smile, the mover carried my belongings away. Well then, next is the cleaning service. I called my favorite cleaning company to clean the apartment where I used to live with my husband. They came quickly and did a thorough cleaning job. It wasn't too much work, given that I used to have a housekeeper come in twice a week. And lastly, the locksmith. I contacted my go-to locksmith to change the locks. Now, even if my husband returns, he won't be able to enter the condo. It seems a bit harsh. If he were to return to retrieve his belongings, he would undoubtedly be confronted with memories of our life together. Given that he's found the love of his life, I don't want to cast a shadow over that. After finishing all the tasks, I headed to my new home. Hello? Jones, what's up? My husband called the next day, just before noon. It seems he had a sweet time in the hotel suite, which is good for him. I'm currently in a taxi heading somewhere. What do you mean, what's up? Why can't I get into the house? Oh, Jones, I wanted you to be free to go to your new love without any worries. If that house remains, won't it always be on your mind? That's why I stepped back completely. But you don't understand. It's not what you think. I wasn't cheating. I know you weren't just fooling around. You were serious, right? Now, listen. You didn't have to do all this. It's all right, Jones? I understand. I truly wish you both the best. Oh, I'm here. Gotta go. Wait. Thank you. Here is fine. I said to the driver, sure. I paid the fare and got out of the taxi. What I saw was a small, beautiful inn. And believe it or not, it's my husband's family home. Hello there? I headed towards the main building through the back entrance. After ringing the doorbell, I could hear footsteps approaching. Oh, who might this be? Oh, Jennifer. Hi, Mom. I said to my mother-in-law. Oh my, it's been so long. Come on in. Is the inn doing okay? Hans and Rachel have been managing things well So my husband and I are pretty much retired. Hans is Jones' older brother and Rachel is his wife. When I walked into the living room, my father-in-law greeted me with a warm smile. "Oh, Jennifer. Long time no see. It's been a while, Dad. Come on, take a seat. You're as beautiful as ever. You haven't changed a bit since you married Jones. He's really lucky to have you. Are you two getting along well? I came today because I have something to discuss with you." I sensed some tension in the air. Their expressions turned stern. Even though they were always understanding and never once complained about us not having children, it was hard for me to say this, but I had to. Actually, it seems that Jones has found his true love. He told me that he's always been cheating on me. It seems he's really in love with another woman. So I've decided to gracefully step back. I came here to let you know and to say goodbye. Their faces went pale and their expressions were of shock. I know this is difficult, but from the perspective of the woman, she probably doesn't want to see any traces of his previous relationship. You know, you've been receiving financial assistance from my family every month, but I think it's best to stop. We should support true love, and in order to do so, I'll completely remove myself from the picture. Thank you for everything. With my in-laws still in shock, I bowed my head politely and left their home. Jones called me again that night. "Hello, what's up, Jones? I went home today and found out you visited. I got yelled at for cheating, and they've lost all of the financial support. They even disowned me. What am I supposed to do?" Well, considering the situation, I don't think it's fair to the other woman to have any lingering attachments, right? We can't continue the financial support if we're getting a divorce. Divorce? I don't want to get a divorce. That's too bad. I'm rooting for you and her. I want you to remarry and be happy. How am I supposed to live if we get a divorce? Why don't you live with her? She's just working part-time and doesn't make much. And I'm not working either. That's what true love is about, Jones. Overcoming challenges together. Don't worry, I'm not thinking about asking for alimony. Really? Yes, of course. What about the property division? We'll split it 50-50. Really? House and house? His tone clearly changed. I knew this was my chance. So I'd like you to sign the divorce papers. Can you send them to a post office for pickup? I'll let you know which one later. Are you not going to tell me your new address? Jones, I've decided to fully support you too. It's not good to have any connections. Okay, a few days after this conversation, Jones sent me a message saying he had mailed the divorce papers. I received them and submitted them to the city hall the same day. The divorce is finalized. I felt incredibly relieved on a day where I was efficiently handling my work and generally having a good time. Hello? What's up, Jones? The call was from Jones, my ex-husband. His voice sounded somewhat rushed, making me tilt my head in confusion. Oh, thank God. I got through. We're divorced, right? Yes, we are. Didn't I send you the confirmation paperwork? Yeah, you did. But how did we settle the division of assets? Well, thinking about it, both of us have about the same amount of assets. Actually, you might have a bit more. So technically, you might owe me. Are you okay with that? Huh? His confused voice came through the phone, making me chuckle. You know what I mean, right? I'm not the type to have tons of designer bags. Even though each piece is expensive, I use them carefully, so I don't have a large collection. But if we're talking about the total value of designer items like bags, watches, and clothes that you bought with my money since we got married, you've spent a lot more. Do you understand? No, that's not what I meant. Properties like condos or hotels to divide. He paused for a moment before his baffled voice echoed again. But you managed so many condos and hotels. Yes, but all of those properties are in my parents' names. They did say they'll eventually pass them down to me, but as of now, none of them are in my name. I was just managing them. What? You're kidding, right? No joke. Most of the management fees I received, minus our living expenses, were spent every month. We don't have any savings. As I mentioned earlier, if we're gonna split assets, considering the designer goods, you probably owe me. So, are we doing this division? My ex-husband didn't reply. Even after repeatedly saying hello, he didn't answer, so I ended the call. Right. I should change my number to avoid these kinds of calls. Off to the cell store. Several months later, I was reading a detailed report that had arrived in a large envelope. Curious about what had become of my ex's new love, I had hired a detective to find out what was going on with him and his girlfriend. According to the report, it seemed his girlfriend had been banking on getting a share of my assets. However, when she realized there was nothing to get, she apparently broke up with him. Dumped by the love of his life, disowned by his family, with no stable job history, it was hard for him to find a regular job. Now, he's working as a temp, waving flags at nighttime construction sites and getting yelled at daily. The photo of him on the job showed dead eyes, which made me tilt my head in confusion. Gawad, I genuinely wished him all the best. Why doesn't he look happy? As I looked at that photo, I sipped my tea with a contented smile on my face. Thank you for watching the video all the way to the end. If you resonated with the content, please leave a positive rating and a comment.